Houston Rockets center Christian Wood went down with an ankle injury in their most recent matchup against the Memphis Grizzlies, and this has been a really concerning one because reportedly this is his second ankle injury in the span of about 3 weeks. Now, on the play that Wood was injured on, we would see him dribble down the court in transition where he would go and try to split two Memphis Grizzlies defenders, and then we would notice that he would land very awkwardly onto his foot. Now, right after the play occurred, we noticed that Wood would limp off the floor and go to the locker room for further evaluation, and he was actually due to have an MRI today. However, we haven't heard the exact results of that, but based on how he landed on his foot, there are a few injuries that are possible, and I'm going to go ahead and focus on that in today's video. Welcome, basketball fans. For those of you that aren't familiar with me, my name is Nick Gallo, and I'm a doctor of physical therapy, and with this video, we're going to take a very close look at Christian Wood's most recent ankle injury against the Memphis Grizzlies. First, I'm going to start off by showing the play that Wood was injured on so that we get a good visualization for his mechanism of injury. Then I'll go over all of the relevant anatomy at the ankle, and after that, I'll go over some specific ankle injuries that are possible. If you like today's video and you find it informative, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel because I will be making more videos in the future regarding sports injuries, rehabilitation, and other physical therapy related content. Also, if you have any comments or questions, please leave those in the comment section below. Now to begin, let's take a look at that play that Wood was injured on. Wood has the ball in transition, and as he goes to split the defenders, he lands very awkwardly onto his foot. Immediately after the play, he's in very noticeable pain. We see here zoomed in and slowed down right here, he steps and he noticeably rolls his ankle inwards. Here's another camera angle from the side, and right here we notice that he rolls that ankle inwards and he's in noticeable pain. So here I have a model of the foot and ankle, and it's important to note that the position that Wood's foot went into is something known as inversion. And so inversion is when that foot is going to go in just like that. And so this is a very common mechanism for ankle injuries. Now, the ankle can be injured in a bunch of other positions, such as eversion. That's another mechanism of injury, but the most common mechanism that I see for ankle injuries is when the ankle goes into that inversion position. Now, there is a normal value for how much a person's ankle can move into that inversion position, and this number can vary, but typically what we'll use is the 35-degree measurement. So essentially, a person's foot should be able to move about 35 degrees. And so when a person actually lands and they put all their body weight through that foot when it's in inversion, this goes beyond that 35 degrees. And so we saw that with this injury, and it's really important to know that when a person does that and they weight bear through it and it goes beyond those 35 degrees, that all of the applicable structures on the lateral or outside portion of that ankle are stressed. Now, there are 3 ligaments that are located on that lateral portion of the ankle that contribute to overall ankle stability. And so the first one, and actually the most common one that is injured in that inversion position, is something known as the anterior talofibular ligament, or the ATFL for short. And so that is going to go from the talus bone right here, and it's going to go right into that fibula. The next one is known as the calcaneofibular ligament, or CFL for short, and that's going to go from this calcaneus bone right here up to that fibula. And finally, there's one more ligament, and that's known as the posterior talofibular ligament. And so that's going to be in the back here, and it's going to go also from that talus to that fibula. Now, no word has been officially released yet as to what is exactly going on at Wood's ankle, but the fact that those 3 ligaments are located on the lateral or the outside portion of the ankle, and the fact that he went into that inversion position on the injury, then he is definitely at risk for an ankle sprain. Now, there are 3 grades for ankle sprains, and they are grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3. And so for a grade 1 ankle sprain, the affected ligament is going to be stretched, but there's not going to be any tearing to it. In a grade 2 ankle sprain, the affected ligament is going to be stretched, and we're going to see some partial tearing of the ligament. And finally, in a grade 3 ankle sprain, there's going to be a full tear of the affected ligament. Now, to better represent the ankle sprain grades, we have this napkin here. And so for a grade 1 ankle sprain, you can see that it's going to do some stretching to the ligament. However, there's not going to be any tearing. In a grade 2, it's going to have a partial tear, so it's going to cause that partial tear in that ligament. And finally, in a grade 3, it's going to be a complete tear of that ligament. Now, when a person usually suffers from a grade 3 ankle sprain, since that ligament has been torn fully, then this is also going to be accompanied by some popping sounds, popping sensations, and of course overall ankle instability, because one of those ligaments that contributes to stability is no longer intact. Now, when a person lands in this inversion ankle position, it doesn't only mean that they have an ankle sprain. There's something else that they're at risk for, and that's something known as a malleolar fracture. And so as the two bones that form the lower leg come on down to the ankle, this one right here is known as the fibula, and this one here is known as the tibia. And so as they come down, they'll go to either side of the ankle, and right here, this is something known as the lateral malleolus. So as a person is going into that inversion positioning, they are at risk for a lateral malleolar fracture. And then they are also at risk for a medial malleolar fracture. It just really depends on the force going through the foot at the time. And so, yes, they could have a medial or lateral malleolar fracture, or they could have both. One other thing that can also be affected in this inversion ankle positioning is something known as the peroneal tendons. And so you have your peroneal muscles on the lateral or the outside portion of the lower leg. And what they function to do is they function to do eversion. And so because they do eversion, they also contribute to overall ankle stability. So the fact that he landed in this position, it doesn't always mean it's a break. It doesn't always mean that it's a sprain. It could be any one of these things, or it could be multiple of them at the same time. So because Wood is at risk for all of these different types of injuries, it's really important that he does have that MRI. And I know that he was scheduled to have one today. We just haven't heard the exact results yet. But as soon as we know the exact results, then we can know exactly what to expect moving forward. As soon as we find out exactly what's going on with his ankle, I'll be sure to update everybody in the comment section. And that's it as of right now for Christian Wood's most recent ankle injury. Once again, if you liked today's video, please subscribe to the channel because I will be making more videos in the future. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.